गणानान्त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनापवैष्णवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पदानः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् ॐ महागणाधिपतये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय हरये परमात्मने प्रणतक्लेशनाशाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणि नमोऽस्तुते। आपदापहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। यं प्रपर्यन्तमनुवादो वेदकृत्यं द्वैपायनं वेदवादराजवामय Today we are going to start one of the most important spiritual texts. No doubt it is partly of mythology, but it contains a lot of the truths leading to the ultimate truth or the ultimate reality. And this Bhagavatam consists of 12 parts. They are called skandhas. And they are all arranged in the form of a staircase for reaching the final destination. And the entire book is in poetry. And it consists of 18,000 verses. The procedure in our religious texts are, we start with a conversation between some evolved soul and other sages and saints. So similarly, this also starts. This is a very big sacrifice, fire sacrifice, which we call it as yaga, which was being done for 100 years. When you do the fire sacrifice standing and offering the oblations into the fire, it is called yaga. When you sit down and offer the fires, it is a smaller version. It is called homa or havan. And when you do it for the benefit of the entire world, for 100 years, 1,000 years, it lasts. It is a very long process of fire sacrifice, yaga. And that is called a satra. So, there was once a great satra which was being done for the benefit of the entire world. And there were so many sages present. And all the mythological texts are completely known to one category of people called sutas. Suta is a post and not a name. And whenever there is an interval, say the fire sacrifice will be over by, say 1 o'clock, and then there will be meals. And then the evening, say from 3 o'clock onwards or 4 o'clock onwards, the rishis would like to hear something about the Lord. This is the procedure. So, there were great rishis led by one great saint called Shaunaka. She asked Suta, please tell us something about the Lord. We would like to know how the Lord not only is supposed to remain in some unknown region upwards, but He is very much with us. So, these are all being narrated in an esoteric way to show that the Lord is always with us. They are saying how He has taken an avatar. He has taken incarnation as Krishna, as Rama, as Parashurama. So in these manners. So here, this book is going to emphasize mainly about the birth and the various disportation of the Supreme Lord Krishna. And so Sutta is supposed, Vyasa is supposed. These are all people who are expounding all these mythological texts, the religious texts. These religious texts contain a mixture of mythological stories and a lot of truths. Not only the truth, the path, the sadhana, what should we do to attain the highest reality? What should we do to eliminate all our sorrows and sufferings and tribulations and to reach the highest bliss? And Sutta begins to tell them a story. The story is again has got an esoteric meaning behind it. Narada was a Devarshi. Devarshi means a saint who belonged to the earth, and by virtue of his penance, he was able to attain the status almost of a god. So they are called the Devarshis. And Narada was going somewhere, and at that time he found in Vrindavan, he was going through all the places. When he was going through all the places, he was very much, full of sorrows on seeing the world. The world was going from bad to worse. Nowhere people were able to think of the Lord. This is the current time called the Kali Yuga, which spreads over a period of about 4 lakhs of years. We have just started life. We are in the, about 1/4 of it is running, say about 1 lakh. And then the first part will be over. So he says, Satyam nasti tapasyaucham dayadanam na vidyate. In the current time, we call it the Yuga, nobody takes compassion on anybody. They are all cruel. Nobody gives in charity any amount. And the main thing is, nobody tells the truth. Everybody resorts to crookedness, cunningness, and Udarambrano Jivaha. See, now these days, we want to have accumulate a lot of money and eat well and live well. This is called Udarambaris. People who are oriented towards their stomach only. Oriented towards their stomach. Then, Taruni Prabhudagehe Shalago Buddhidayagam Ashrama Yavane Ruddhaha Tirtha Nisaradasthatam. The various ashramas and the various sacred rivers, they are all full of gundas. The people who try to loot others. Na yogi neva siddhova, na jnani satkriya gatam. See, nobody is a yogi. Nobody does anything to attain the Lord through the yoga marga. Nobody has got this a Siddha Purusha where he has been able to attain some mystic powers. There was a wonderful scenery in Vrindavan when he came to Vrindavan. There is a young lady. She was sitting, and by her side, her two sons were there. The one who was sitting, her name was Bhakti or devotion. See, here again you see, they are trying to form to what is called the various aspects. Devotion is an aspect with which we reach the Lord. And now they have made it into a form. So this is a story so that it can hold the interest of the people. And by her side, her two sons were there. One is called the knowledge or jnana, and the other is called vairagya or dispassion towards the worldly things. And this lady is young, but they were all quite old. They were all absolutely old, like their hairs have all turned grey, and their body was full of wrinkles, and due to old age, they were unable to hold themselves properly, and they were lying down in their mother's lap, and they were sleeping like. Perhaps they were in a coma. Then this Bhakti, this young lady, calls Narada. Oh, Narada, please help me. I am in a great trouble. See, look here. Because when this Kali Yuga came, when truth is lost, when people are crooked, when people are oriented towards their stomach, automatically nobody wanted devotion. There were no takers or customers for me. And naturally, the Lord turned me and my two sons. See, what do you mean by two sons? Once you get devotion to the Lord, then automatically the higher knowledge comes to you and the dispassion or vairagya comes to you. So, it is here depicted as if Bhakti has got two sons. The one is called the dispassion or vairagya, the other one is called the jnana or the final knowledge. So, she tells him that at last I also became very old, and my two sons became old. And then slowly I wended my way towards Vrindavan. And Vrindavan is the one place where, even in Kali Yuga, the devotion exists to the Lord Krishna. Krishna still lives there personally, even though you may not be able to see him. In an invisible form, he is directly approachable there. And when I came here, because devotion is the only thing left in Vrindavan, so I became young. But unfortunately, my two sons, the knowledge and dispassion, have become quite old. I don't know what to do with them, and they are in half coma. So please do something in order to make them perfectly young enough along with me. When the mother is young, it is not, it's not correct or it's not appropriate that the son should be very old. Then, Vrtha Kedese Balim Aho Chintatura Katham Shri Krishna Charanam Bhojam Sparadukham Gamishyasi. Narada tells her, "Oh lady, why are you unnecessarily torturing yourself? The Lord, the Supreme Lord, you just think of Him. By thinking of Him, all your troubles will vanish." And he gives various examples how Lord Krishna saved Draupadi in her various trials and tribulations. And then he says, "Oh, Mother Bhakti, don't worry. In this yuga, I will go from house to house and talk about you, and I will establish you, and I will kindle devotion in the hearts of all the people. I will do that." So, and then Narada, in order to wake them up from their coma, he recites the Vedas. He recites the Advaita philosophy, Vedanta, Veda Vedanta Goshaischa. And then he reads Bhagavad Gita, he reads Ramayana, but they had no effect at all. He has exhausted his stock of the knowledge of those texts which can help these two boys. Now there is nothing more is left. The Narada himself is perturbed. Now what can I do? Then he says, "Wait, I'll go and ask the various sages and saints whether any of them know a method to wake you up from your slumber, to wake you up from your coma." Narada goes away. He says, "Just wait for me." Narada goes away. Narada goes away in order to find out a method by which we can wake up the Vairagya and the Jnana. And luckily he meets with his elder brothers, Sanat Kumara, Sanat Sujata, and these were the firstborn of Brahma, the very first children which Brahma bore from his mind, mentally created. And there were 4 brothers. And Narada also came out of the body of Brahma. So Narada is considered as the younger brother of these 4 boys. These first 4 children, they look like small children of 5 years old, even though they were all highly evolved souls. They were all realized souls. But still to look at them, one would think that they were young boys, like. And they asked Narada, "What is the matter with you? You look highly perturbed like, and you are not very happy. You are full of sorrows, it seems. Come on, share your sorrow with us." Then Narada tells him the state of bhakti. See, bhakti has got the 2 children there, and the 2 children have become very old, and they are in a coma. One is called the sons are called, one is called knowledge, the other is called dispassion or vairagya. So she seeks my help in order to wake them up. I have tried what all I know in order to kindle them. I told Veda Vedanta, I just recited Bhagavad Gita, but nothing was of any help. Then the his four brothers tell him, yes, there is a method by which they can be awakened. See, there is a path which can lead you directly to the Lord. It can reach you to the Lord, but it has been kept a secret. So, Vaikunta sadhaka pantah satu gopyo hi vartate. The one which can take you to the highest place, that is the place of the Lord, that means moksha. It has been kept secret. It is not all who know. See, he says, there is one text called Srimad Bhagavatam. Well, it was sung by Shukadeva for the benefit of Parikshit. And if only you can read that Bhagavata and also expound on it, surely these two children will be awakened. And they told him how he has to do the katha, what are the methods, and he goes and he just sends word to all the people, because whenever Bhagavata is being told, the practice from the days of yore was to invite all the people they can, saying, here is going to be Bhagavata, please come and hear it. So he sent word, number of people came, all the great sages like Parashara, Devala, Asita, all of them they came, they were all there. And they began to, and the four Sanat Kumaras, Sanat Kumara, Sanat Sujata, etc., they began to read the Bhagavata for the benefit of Narada and others. And when they were doing it, suddenly the Supreme Lord took a form of Lord Krishna and appeared before them, dancing, and along with him all his courtiers were there, and somebody was playing the orchestra, somebody was playing the mridanga, that is the percussion, and thus Lord himself came and blessed them all, and Bhakti also walked in along with the two children. Suddenly they found the two children, they were awakened and they became quite young. Thus, when this story was told by Sutta, the Maharshis asked him one question. Well, this is a very, very old story. Is there any instance where in the recent past somebody has recited this Bhagavata and it has resulted in some benefit or advantage to some people? Then the Sutta, he gives them the story of one Gokarna. It so happened that there was a gentleman known as Atmadeva. Atmadeva had no children. He was extremely unhappy because it is told in the religious text, a man with no children, he wouldn't be able to get his mukti. So he was perturbed by that. And one day, when he was taking bath in a river, he saw a Swamiji, a Mahatma, a saint, taking his bath. He went and did prostrations and requested him, Sir, please help me. I am having no children. Please give me at least one boy. He tries to dissuade him from having a child. See, look here. If you have a child, it will be more of an impediment in the progress of your spiritual evolution. So don't ask for it. You should be happy as you are, and you will have enough time to devote to the Lord. But He is very adamant. He says, no, I want a child. Then the Mahatma, the sage, gives him a fruit and tells him, you give it to your wife and she will become pregnant. And when he went and gave the fruit to his wife, telling her the details, how he got it, the wife was not very happy about it. She didn't want a son. She said, oh my Lord, to be pregnant is full of trials and tribulations. I will have pain all over the body. I will not be able to walk. So I don't want. So secretly she gave the fruit to the cow and told him, I have taken it. But because the vibrations of the sage was there, she also gave birth to a child. And at the same time, the cow also gave birth to a human child. The child which was born to Atmadeva, he turned out to be a wastrel, a vagabond. He was not interested in things spiritual. He was always playing dice and going with women of ill repute. He was absolutely in the wrong path. And in amount of their advice, could not turn him away from his path. At the same time, the human child which was born to the cow, she had a long ears just like that of a cow. So he was called Gokarna. Gokarna studied all the Shastras, all the sciences, all the Vedas. He became a great Pandit. He became a great scholar in spiritual texts. Then this first son of Atmadeva, he was called Dundukari. So Dundukari, he had a relationship with all prostitutes. He lived with them, and whenever they troubled him, you get me some more money, you get me a lot of money, why are you here otherwise? Then he used to go to his house, beat his father, and Kovitam Tattadibruhi Hanishya Latyanachet. He went and threatened his mother, look here, tell me where have you hidden the money? Otherwise I am going to whip you with this whip. Thus, he became a nuisance and he bet his mother and went away. That night his mother commits suicide by falling into the well. She becomes unhappy with this sort of son. And finally, that Dundukari takes to going somewhere and trying to burgle the houses. And once he brought a lot of ornaments and a lot of wealth by looting some house. He brought them and gave it to those prostitutes, and they were all very happy. But the prostitutes thought, now that we have got a lot of money, they have got a lot of ornaments, but the police department of the king will be very active now to find out, and they may trace all these things to this fellow who is in our house, and then we will all be in trouble. So secretly one night, they killed him. By putting a noose around his neck, they killed him so that they can live happily, and they went away from that place to a faraway place, and with all the money, they were living happily. In the way Gokarna, in the meantime, even when Dundukari was alive, the father was very unhappy and he was weeping. Now there is nobody My wife has also committed suicide. My son is a vassal and a vagabond. So, what can I do? Then Gokarna is a old soul. He goes and consults his father and tells him, Father, why are you weeping? This is all unnecessary. This body is not yours. Dehastimam sarudhire bhimatam tejatvam jayasuta dirisada mamatam vimunchem pasyanisham jagadidam kshanabhanganishtam vairagyaragarasiko bhava bhaktinishta. Father, this body is made up of bones, flesh, and all these things which you would not touch with your hand, and all unholy things. And on this, why are you having attachment to this? Leave off your attachment to the body. And because of the body, you have got attachment towards your wife, towards your son. Jaya sutadrisha mamatam vimuncha. Please, you leave off your sense of possession, saying, this wife is mine, this child is mine. Please, leave off all your attachment towards your son and all your relatives. Then, number one. Number two, the entire world, there is nothing to attract us. It is all momentary, it is all evanescent. You just see them and then the things disappear. Today somebody is there, tomorrow he is not there anymore. So every item in this world is subject to destruction one day. They don't live forever. So all these worldly activities, these worldly duties, you leave them off and take to the only duty of trying to please God and to reach Him. This is our only duty. And for that, what should we do? Sevasva sadhi purushan. You go to the holy company of good people and be in their company and try to serve them and be with them. Then slowly their vibrations, their advice, all these things will help you and you will be able to rise up. And Jahi Kama Trishna. These are the only two. Number one is seek the company of holy people, good people who are well versed in the knowledge of the Lord. And the second thing is Jahi Kama Trishna. Leave off your desires. Our Upanishad says, Yada sarve pramuchante kama yasya hridishritaha tada martyo amrito bhavati atra brahma samashrute. Atra brahma samashrute. He says, see that all the desires leave you. There is a difference between your leaving the desire and the desires leaving you. I want gulab jamun, then I leave it. Then tomorrow again I may be tempted and I will take it. When the gulab jamun ceases to exercise its influence on you, its attraction on you, and it withdraws itself, then you cannot do anything. Then even if you taste it, it will taste like mud. You won't be able to taste it. So that is where the desires leave you. The desires leave you. That is the time. Yada sarve pramuchante kama yasya hridishritaha. You nip them in the bud, otherwise these desires will get into action.